So let's get started today. And we're going over Zen, finding inner peace. And why do you need Zen? And what exactly is Zen? Okay. I'm going to explain this very simple. Zen is where you're calm, balanced, and relaxed within yourself. You are totally at ease and at peace within yourself. That doesn't mean that the world around you is at peace and at ease. And today, we got viruses going on. We got crazy people buying up all the toilet paper. We got all kind of crazy, ridiculous stuff going on, which is trying to drive us crazy. A lot of our kids are out of school. Our money's all messed up. The first of the month is coming. We don't know if we're going to be able to pay our bills or not. We got so much going on. But you still have to keep that inner peace. Because if you start letting all these issues start eating at you and biting at you like mosquitoes or a flock of killer bees, they will totally tear you apart. And this is what is going on in society today. This is why people are acting crazy, where they're fighting and yelling and so much is going on. But we are not going to let this happen. We are going to be the calm in the storm. We are going to be the eye of the hurricane. The hurricane is spiraling around us, knocking everything over, creating disasters. But we are the calm in the storm. And yes, we have to deal with this, but we're going to deal with this with ration and logic and order. We are not going to let the craziness where we become a part of the craziness. Once you become a part of the craziness and you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, it's hard to think. It's hard to figure out what you need to do. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to get anything done because you are too busy concentrating on the craziness. Okay. That's the reason you got to remain focused and balanced at all times. And we are focused and balanced. And yes, myself, I am having a lot of problems. And yes, myself, I'm trying to do the show and technical problems is knocking me off the air, this and that. I can't get a clear signal, the whole 9 yards. But I'm still calm, collective, and balanced. This is what we all need to do. Slow down, take a deep breath. When you have a problem, you need to step back and look at the problem. Okay, there's a virus out there. Okay, there's a curfew out there. Okay, there's a shelter-in-place order out there. You need to calmly sit down and figure out what you need to do. And sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Because right now, we don't know what's going to happen. And when you listen to the news, it sounds really, really bad. And there's a lot of stuff, and it might be coming to your area, and every day they're announcing all these new cases and this and that and everything going on. And we all have to deal with this. And then we're worried about our health and the health of our loved ones and the health of our children. And then somebody cough and you're like, oh my gosh. Okay. You can't be that paranoid. We are going to be calm, cool, and collective. And how do you do that? Because you focus on what is the most important things in life. Is yourself, your children, your family. And you know inside that you are going to make it through. And the road might get rocky. A lot of things might go crazy, but you are going to make it. And that's the reason why I'm talking calmly. I'm talking slowly. We need to slow down. I went to the store today. There were some empty shelves. I got what I needed the best I can. And what I can't get, maybe I'll go out. I'm planning on going out again on Friday and trying to find them. But tomorrow, I'm not going nowhere. Okay. Where I'm at is under lockdown. I can be in my house going stir crazy, biting my nails. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do things around here. I'm going to plan on Friday what I'm going to try to accomplish. I'm going to try to get some things done around here. I'm going to try to relax a little bit, watch a little bit of news, but I am the calm within the storm. We have to remember that. We are not a part of the craziness. Now, how do you get to this point? Because the point is that either you control your reality, your future, or you don't control. And even when you're in the car, and the car, sometimes you hit that patch of ice, you know, it's raining very hard, you're hydroplaning, you have to remain calm. If you just throw your hands up or swing the steering wheel in one direction or the other, you're going to crash. You just need to remain calm. The future as we know it is changing. The world as we know it over the next months, weeks, months, and years is going to change. But the world has changed several times before. But we are going to make it. And we are going to make it with our family and friends, and we're going to deal with whatever we have to deal with. And if someone gets sick or if something happens, we're going to deal with that problem. We're going to rebalance ourselves and say, I did enough for today, and tomorrow I'll do a little bit more. But we are not going to drive ourselves insane. You have to be that calm in the storm. And that is what we all must do. That is what I'm trying to do. But am I telling you you don't have to do anything? No. Because for myself, I've been out of work for 2 weeks. I need to figure a lot of things out. I need to make some phone calls. I need to talk to some people. You know, I need to do things. But I'm doing what I can today. And I will do what I can tomorrow. And I will do what I can a little after that. And after I do so much for the day, I say that's enough. You know, the needle is getting up there. Let me go and make a cup of coffee. Let me sit down for an hour, relax. And then I get going again. But I'm going to do the best I can do. And I don't know, and you don't know what the future holds. And there's some people really talking crazy out there. Okay. Some people are talking about it's the end of the world, Jesus is coming, this and that and everything else. Other people are talking about this is all secret society, this is all man-made and the New World Order trying to take over. Some people are talking about, hey, in a week or two, we'll be able to go back to work and Easter's coming. We're going to all be in church at Easter time saying hallelujah and everything. We don't know what's going to happen. But one thing I know for Lynn David Livsey is that Lynn Livsey is going to go straight, and Lynn Livsey is going to survive, and Lynn Livsey is not going to be a part of the crazy. Okay. I will do the best I can do, one step at a time. And I believe that things are going to work out some kind of way. I have faith in myself. I have faith in my guides above me. And I have faith that man can figure this out. I can figure this out. Okay. And you look back in history at some things that happened. We've been on this planet for 100,000 years. A lot of terrible things have happened. We have had earthquakes, we have had volcanoes, we have had tidal waves, we have had viruses. And this is not even the worst of the viruses. We had polio, we had tuberculosis, we had, plagues of different types over the years. When you read history, you talk about all kind of disasters that have happened to people. And what they show you in the movies is when there's a disaster, the survivors fight and kill each other. But when you look in reality, just like what happened with the tsunami of 20 years ago, when the tsunami hit in Asia and killed 200,000 people, the survivors pulled together and started to rebuild. You have to figure out what to do. And you have to have a calm head. Because we don't know if this is the first wave of the virus, or will there be a second wave or a third wave. But we're going to take it one step at a time. But what we do know is that the world as we know it is changing. And that is very upsetting to me. That is very upsetting to a lot of people. But we didn't get a vote. Right? So I was happy going through life on autopilot. Just get up in the morning, drink my coffee, take my shower, jump in my car. I knew exactly what to do. I did it every day like clockwork. And I was just running on autopilot. And then the train got knocked off the track. Now the autopilot is off. And now I have to figure out a new path. But when I look back on my life, when you look back on your life, there's been other times where things got thrown off. And when you look back now on those episodes, you say, oh yeah, that was really bad what happened. That time that the flood came, or that was really bad that year of the hurricane, or I remember when I lost my job and we had to move, that was really bad. But looking back on it, you survived. That is how you will be able to look back on what is going on now. There's a lot going on. Things are crazy. But a few years from now, you will be able to look back and say, hey, you remember when that virus came through, how crazy things was? And you'll be laughing and joking with your friends. This is what we all need to do. So, how do you get to that point where you can calm yourself? Because for one, you have to know where the source of true power is. The source of true power is not Wall Street. The source of true power is not that grocery store down the street. The source of true power is that light of God which is inside of you. And you got to let that light shine. And you have to do something called keep the faith. And you have to believe that you can make it through. And yes, it's going to be hard, but we're going to make it. And yes, I might lose a few things along the way. But when you look back on things, a lot of the things that we think are very valuable today, when you look back to think about what was valuable 10, 20 years ago, when you look back on it now, you say those things weren't that valuable. I was willing to kill for that. And then 5, 10 years later, I sold it in a garage sale for next to nothing because I didn't need it anymore. I didn't want it. I moved on. Okay. That is what we're going to do now. So we just need to remain calm. We're going to keep the faith. And how do you have the faith? The faith is from within. This is where you receive your strength and your power. It starts from within you and it manifests itself out. Okay. And we cannot be running around like chickens with our head cut off and our kids watching us. And then that scares them and they're acting crazy. Crazy breeds crazy. And what you want to be is that you want to be that steady hand. You want to be that rock. And when your kids say, Mommy, I'm scared, you need to say, it's going to be okay. You can depend on me. I will be there. How we're going to make it, we're going to find out. But we are going to make it through. So, this is the point of Zen. Zen is, in metaphysical terms, when you look at Hinduism or Buddhism, they are in that egg. They project their energy from inside of them, and they surround themselves in their energy. Their energy becomes their suit of armor, and their suit of armor protects them. And they have peace. And when they're sitting, and we all need to do this, after that hard, long day, we need to push all of that negativeness and stress off of us. Because when we come home from work and fighting out there and yelling and screaming and all kind of stuff, we come home filthy and dirty. We got all that negativity and stuff. We're drenched in it. We need to take all those dirty clothes off. You need to cleanse yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And that is what we need to do. And how do you do that? You do that by going to that inner spot inside of you, where is the source of all strength and knowledge, which is God. And you start pushing out. And you find what is called your oasis of peace. And what I do the other day, I had a lot of things on my mind. There's a park not too far from me. I went over there and I sat on a bench. And I just sat there for a while, and I was watching the people walking around, and I was just sitting there, and it calmed my mind. I had things I needed to do, but I sat out there for a while, and I calmed my mind. And when you observe nature, it calms you. But more than nature can calm you. Some people can be calmed by music. Some people can be calmed by a lot of things. Some people just need that cup of coffee in the morning or this or that. But what you do not need to calm you is to get drunk, this or that, a bottle of wine, all this stuff. These are, as long as, nothing's wrong with a little bit of drink or a little bit of this or that. As long as it doesn't become an addiction. And this is what happens a lot of time. When a lot of people come home, they got to have a beer, and then they drink 2, and they're drinking 3, and they're drinking 4. And that number keeps increasing. And then before you know it, you got to have that beer just to make it. You got to have that wine. You got to have that smoke. You got to have this. We can't be that way. Because we want to be addicted to that source of power which is inside of us. And we have to know who we can truly lean on. And we can lean on God. We can lean on ourselves. We can lean on our family. We can hand. You can't let things get to you. So, how do you do this? Sometimes in the morning, I do it in the morning sometimes. When I get up, because when I first wake up, my mind is clear. And I lay in the bed for a little bit, and I do my little stretches and I think about what I need to get done for that day. And I think clearly, and I try to map things out. Okay, I want to do this. I need to do this, and I need to do that. Okay. And then you can't get everything done. You have to try, the secret is, like I tell people, like eating an elephant. The secret of eating an elephant is to eat the elephant one bite at a time. And if you eat the elephant one bite at a time, over a long period of time, you can eat the entire elephant. But that's the only way you can do it. You can't solve the problem any other way. You have to solve the problem one piece at a time. And the problem we have today, going back to what's going on around us, is we don't have a lot of solutions. We don't know how long our kids are going to be out of school. We don't know how those bills are going to get paid in a few weeks. We don't know if somebody in the house or ourselves is going to get sick. We don't know about this or that. We don't know. And that little what if this, what if that is what is driving people crazy, because it's the fear of the unknown. But what you have to remember and keep in mind at all times is no matter what life throws at you, you are going to be able to make it. You are stronger than what is going on. And yes, you might need to make some changes in your life. And yes, that road we go down might be a bumpy road, but you're going to get down the road. You got to have that positive attitude. So I'm just trying to get you some things you can think about. And we are all going to get through this together. And maybe we're going to get a check. Maybe we're not. And, at first they said we was going to get it in a week. And then they said in 2 weeks. And now they're saying maybe okay. See, this is the crazy part. You're going to do what you need to do. If you got kids, you're going to feed your kids every day. Okay. You're going to find something. You're going to do it. You're going to make phone calls. You can ask upstairs for help. You can say, what do I need to do? They will give you ideas. Okay. But you got to know what you're not going to do. You're not going to do, because you think you got problems now. If you start doing all this illegal stuff, then you're really going to have problems. Because how are you going to feed your kids if you're locked up? Okay. And like with me, I'm under a shelter-in-place order. If I'm out there roaming around doing all kind of crazy stuff, and I end up with $1,000 ticket, that's not making my problems any less. That's just making my problems even more. Okay. But I need to figure this out. You need to figure it out. It is not the end of the world. And when you think it is, just remember, years from now, you're going to look back to this and laugh and say, do you remember what happened? And you will be laughing and giggling. It's not very funny now, but it will be later. But all of our lives are going to change. This is what we talked about before. No one can see 2025. No one can see 2024. We can't even see 2023 because the world as we know it does not exist. No, the world is not blowing up. No, it is not the end of the world. It is that there's going to be some big changes. We are turning the corner. We're all in this roller coaster together. So I hope this gives you some ideas of things you can think about. I hope that I can, be there for you in any way. But you just got to have that inner faith. But unfortunately, a lot of things right now that we learned to depend on. It was nice that we had that 401k and we had this and we saw that the stock market was going up all the time. And now it has fallen like a rock and you're like, oh my gosh, where's all my retirement money? And you was banking on that vacation and you was planning that wedding and you was planning, so many plans have been washed away in the last month. But we are going to make new plans. And yes, maybe that wedding did get put off, and maybe that vacation did get canceled. But we're going to make new plans down the road, and the wedding is not all forever. It's just being postponed for now. Okay. Just think about it like that. You're still going to do everything. You're just going to have to put it off a while. Sounds good? Sounds good. So, I'm sorry we had so many problems with this meeting. I'm going to try to see what I can do to fix some of the problems. We seem to can't, this meeting and last meeting, the reception issues are, I don't know if everyone's home or maybe, I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to post this. You'll be able to see it. I'm going to post it now. And hopefully this will be able to help you. And even if I have to post it or do it live or whatever, it's not important as long as you get the information. So my name is Lynn David Livsey. I will be there to do what I can to help you. And I'm going to try to be there to help myself, because before you can help someone else, as the Bible says, before you try to get that thorn out of someone else's eye, you got to get it out of your eye first. So I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to try to be there for my friends and the people that I hold dear. But I need to be there for Lynn David Livsey too. Excellent. And Lynn David Livsey is going to stay cool, calm, and collective. And I'm going to keep my inner faith. And I'm going to believe in the source of real power. That is that speck of light inside of me. And I want that speck of light to cover me and to guide me in the new way I need to go. The autopilot is turned off. I'm now on manual controls. And I need to figure this out. And then once everything is back again, maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, I can turn back on the autopilot. I love that autopilot, but it's turned off for now. We have to do what we need to do to survive. Excellent. So this was our meeting for today. We talked about Zen, finding inner peace. On this coming Tuesday, we're going to be going over, if the meeting is recorded or live, I will do the best I can. The search for another Earth. Okay. We don't need another Earth. We need to fix this one and stay here. Okay. The grass is always greener somewhere else. So if we believe that we can just jump in a spaceship and give everybody here the finger and fly off, that's not going to work. Okay. We have to try to work things out here. Remember, God gave us a paradise planet. We're the ones who screwed it up. We have the power to fix it. And next Wednesday here, we're going over understanding the new reality of what is going on. Because as I told you, our world will no longer exist. The new world is coming into shape and into reality. And this is what some of these people that's visiting us from the future try to tell us. They try to tell us about this new futuristic world. And we are approaching this world very fast. But that future world is not our world. But we do know that there's people over there, and they're doing their thing over there. But just like, we just need to get over here. We need to turn the corner and make it. So I hope I was some help of assistance.